G'day guys, Smith City here for Smith City Product Reviews. I'm crook as a dog. I'm wearing a Pepsi t-shirt, trying to drink some Coke to, get rid of this khaki throat. It's probably the worst I've felt. It's probably been unwell for like the last 5 or 6 days. And it's slowly moving from razor blade throat to a head cold, so now my ears are sort of, half blocking, and then try to like relieve that and it stays blocked, and it's sort of a bit uncomfortable, annoying and frustrating. The other day I had a fever in the morning while I was bringing the client back from Broome Respite, and I'm going to do a couple of reviews for you. I haven't eaten anything today. I've had the day off work because I didn't want to run the risk of being extremely unwell, and now that I'm back in Fitzroy Crossing, I don't want to necessarily get any of my more older clients this bug that I've got, or this viral infection or sickness that I've got. And so I suppose I'll do, which probably isn't the right way to do it because it's bloody hot in this caravan, but I've got some chocolate, but I've also got a dip, a creamy garlic dip that I'm going to try. I believe I've had this creamy garlic dip by Zoosh. Because I think eating that, then the chocolate would be better in terms of taste, but I reckon the chocolate won't be that great in terms of it being melted, and I don't think there's any point in putting it in the fridge for a minute before I get stuck into them. So just got some original Takata biscuits, and this is the Zoosh. It's weird, like this is the second time from this IGA where a dip that I bought is like really like it's not really runny. Now I'm not too sure if it's because it's been in heat before and then frozen or whatever, but yeah, so it's kind of looks more of like a bloody a really soft cheese than it does a dip. But getting the original ones, unflavoured ones, this will sort of give me a good idea of what the dip actually tastes like. I love garlic, so it'll be interesting to see if I like it, with it being garlic. So there it is. Let's see this by date on it. 20th of the 2nd, 2024, so it's in date. It's got a weird aftertaste, guys. Up front, it's got a nice garlic taste to it, and it's sort of got like this soft milky taste. Not a big fan. That's a bit depressing. So I bought a second dip that I know I like. Yeah, look. I'd like to review that back somewhere else outside of this hotter climate, because I reckon that's had something to do with the taste of it. I really do. Yeah, probably give that a 2.5 out of 10. I only sort of gave it a 2.5. I could have given it lower, but the up front taste is quite nice. So yeah, I probably will chuck that out, but before I do, I'll just chuck it in the fridge so it doesn't turn to shit on the table. Yeah. I have been having soda water and just water. Also got some Powerade powder to put in my water so I can stay hydrated. Like, I'm probably drinking upwards of 5 litres of water here, but I don't feel like I'm retaining my hydration all that well because of how hot it is. Like, it's currently 41 degrees and it'll probably be about 45, 46, maybe a bit hotter in this caravan. So yeah, I'll try this first and then I'll move on to the other. So we've got Arnott's Gaiety. I've seen these before, I've never had them. So what even are they? Layers of crisp wafer and chocolate hazelnut flavoured cream covered in Arnott's real chocolate made from the finest cacao ingredients and natural milk products, because everyone deserves the happiness in real chocolate treat can bring. So I'm fairly sure the dip does say on the back that it's got like milk stuff in it. I reckon with how hot it is, right, it gets delivered here, it may sit in a box before it gets put away and in a cold storage, and I just think that's just done something to the milk ingredients in there, because that's what the funny aftertaste was. And it's weird, like even the French onion dip there is sort of like separated. I have had hummus there before and that's alright. Oh no. Oh no, these are melted as all get out. So that's them. This is Arnott Gaiety. Try one more. There's nothing really to them, guys. Just wafer and chocolate. Probably give it a 7. Nothing wrong with it. There's no wow factor. You know, 7's probably a rating where I give something that I really like, and there isn't really anything wrong with it, but you probably aren't going to buy it again over something else. And then you've got Kit Kat, Southern Australian orange. It's dark chocolate. Peel and open. Just trying to find the flap. This is a bit less melted. Still is melted. Oh, you can smell the orange straight up. Oh yeah, you can smell the orange straight up. So it is a bit melted. It is a bit munted. But this is the dark with Southern Australian orange Kit Kat going into my pelican like mouth. Oh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. Hmm. With it being dark and then having orange as well, it could have been an element where it maybe clashed a little bit, because dark chocolate can create some bitterness. Orange or citrus can create a bit of bitterness. And that may have been a downfall, but I think the dark chocolate actually works better. Like, I don't think this really would have worked all that well with milk chocolate. So yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 from me, from Kit Kat. And yeah, pretty disappointed about that dip. Now I've just got some dry bickies with nothing to put on them, and I'm not going out again, so don't have any peanut butter or anything like that. Could put some Vegemite on them if I wanted to, but anyway, might as well keep going. People probably won't make it to the end of the video, but respite was really good. Really good. Not from a me standpoint, because now, like, going to respite and going out of this area to Broome isn't ever about me. And it's, you know, it's really nice. Obviously, I've been on respite 3 times now with 4 now with different clients. And I don't really like calling them clients, they're humans at the end of the day. And if we lived in a world where there was no such thing as money, you know, I'd definitely be the type of person that would do something like this without any money. But obviously you need money to live. And there aren't going to be many people out there that want to come into something rural such as this and live in a caravan. So as well as, you know, do the support work with disability clients. So, but yeah, it's really the respite that I've just been on was really nice. Obviously, I got sick a day before we came back. I started to feel a bit average, and but yeah, the second last day, took my female client, and we did a camel ride on the beach, which is a pretty cool experience for me. Not necessarily the camel ride, even though I thought it was amazing and it was a new experience. I had been on a camel before as a young packer that I do remember. But driving on the beach was interesting. I felt like I was doing something I shouldn't be doing, but that's how you get to them. You just drive on the beach. So that was pretty interesting, and you're like, it just feels weird. It feels weird driving on sand, but yeah. And then obviously you park up and you walk over, and you're like, have I parked too close to the water? Like, what's the tide doing? Am I going to come back to a car in the water or whatever? But no, that's not the case. So, but yeah, just seeing my client, you know, just before, because she had the 11th camel and I was the 12th, so they were the last 2. And as it got to her turn to like climb up on top of the ute, and had like one of those just normal trays with side down, and that's how you got on them. She obviously started getting a little bit nervous, and then she obviously hopped on, and she had a big smile on her face, and yeah, she absolutely loved it. And you know, when like I thought they were special moments, but then I might look even deeper into what she must have thought about it, being in such a rural area such as Fitzroy Crossing, and that's all she's ever known. You know, like getting on a camel on a beach is probably far outside of what she thought she would ever do, and seeing how happy and you know, how smiley she was about the experience was really, really good. And also we did other things, you know, we walked around the markets and had like a mango slushy and stuff. Took her to see some family. Did some cooking with them. Took them to the beach, and had some like had a portable barbecue that we had at the beach, which was really, really good, and watching the sunset on Cable Beach, so that was really, really good. And in Broome you get that nice cool breeze off the water, whereas here it's 41 degrees and there's no reprieve. I don't know, like obviously I am crook and I don't want to get other people crook, but I might need to have a dip in the swimming pool a bit later. I'll probably need to have a shower first because I'm just sweaty, as you can see. And where was I going? So yeah, I'm about to book some flights to go back to Melbourne. Broome sometimes does have direct flights to Melbourne, but most of the time it's to Perth then to Melbourne. So I'm booking them probably tonight or tomorrow for the 27th of October, and I'll probably stay there for a month, see my dad who's unwell before Christmas, and then yeah, come back to Broome. And you know, who knows, the wet season may have been harsh. Fitzroy, maybe you can't get back in it. Maybe I'm just going to start doing some disability work in Broome. Who knows really. So but yeah, I do feel a lot more settled here. Sometimes I do get a little bit of it's not really a shock, it's not a negative experience, but sometimes like my body catches up to itself, and like you're walking a shower block and you're like, shit, I'm in Western Australia, or sorry, really sorry about that. I know that's disgusting, but with this throat. Last night, talking to my parents on the phone, and a bug flew into my mouth as I took a deep breath and hit me right in the back of the throat. And so I was like nearly vomiting in the sink there and coughing and spluttering with a sore throat, and now I've got a bug that's just hit the back of it. What was I saying before that? It's gone now. But yeah, it's been a really cool experience, and you know, like I didn't think my life would direct me back into working with people in this capacity. Being a qualified youth worker and drug and alcohol rehab worker and mental health training qualifications and that sort of stuff. Been in that for 13-14 years, and whilst doing that, living, you know, with homeless kids, doing volunteer work and stuff like that. Obviously got to a point where I couldn't stay in that field any longer, and so it's weird to sort of be doubling back on that. But it also probably, it's good reflecting on that, because it's probably and it's not that I don't care now, because it's definitely not the case. I care, and like, you know, but being a youth worker, the politics and middle management and dramas and red tape and stuff like that was really sort of an impactful thing that used to eat at me all the time, as well as my chronic people pleasing tendencies and sort of you know, not that I've ever been diagnosed with it, but I like to do my own research from time to time, and when I was really struggling with people pleasing and stuff, I saw about hyper-empathy syndrome, and I'm like, yep, that resonates with me. Whether I ever had that or not, that's another thing. But now being in a similar experience, working with people in a caring role, not necessarily a care role, but like you're caring about people and you're helping them, it's not as mentally as draining, which probably shows a lot of progression I've had personally, that it's not like intensely mentally draining. So that's really cool. It's really cool to just think about just now. And you'd think that maybe it would be that way, being in a state I've never been in, being in a rural area, being by myself in a new role, being thrown in the deep end, which not my boss's fault. That's just the nature of what's going on. You know, this is the work that you're doing, and go do it, and not said in that way, but that's basically what it is. These are the things that you're going to be doing. These are the things that, you know, that your clientele might want you to do, or might want you to provide, or might want you to assist, and go and do it. And I'm going to sneeze. Hold on. Where my life takes me, after all this, is anyone's guess. I think what it's taught me is I don't necessarily see myself really moving back to Melbourne full time. Never say never, but I suppose what this trip has taught me really is that I can be self-sufficient. I can manoeuvre around Australia in different towns and different areas, and Australia is a big place. You know, and there'd be other factors that would keep me from going back home to Melbourne full time. And yeah, it might be cool just to see where this path takes me. And it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm going to live in Fitzroy Crossing, or when the Broome situation opens up, maybe late in the year or start of next year, whether that's, you know, my forever thing, or whether, you know, I stick this out for, you know, for as long as I would like to, and then have the ability to maybe explore the possibility of moving, you know, into a different state somewhere, finding a job, getting a rental, and having a bit of savings to my name. You know, from 2020 to 2023, I nearly went bankrupt 3 or 4 times, and I've never really had the ability of blessings of extreme money ever, really. I did once, but life factors created a scenario where that dwindled pretty quickly, and I went from having a decent amount of savings to back to nothing again. Whereas I feel now, and that was mainly because of a few different bits and pieces with some debts and some loans and some stuff, car engine blowing up on me, and then me needing a car to get around, so then getting another loan on top of that loan, and then paying 2 loans and rent. And you know, you can see how, you know, your stupidity when you're younger impacts your finances. And so, with a bit of savings saved up and then finding a job in any state that I choose, I feel like I would have ongoing financial stability, which is great. I've never, I'm nearly 40 and I've never had that once. I've never been a materialistic thing, and this is not a dig at my parents at all, but I was one of three in a low income house, and not that they never bought me anything or whatever, but a lot of things were like hand-me-downs, or I sort of showed the struggles of money, but also was shown also the importance of money at the same time, which maybe came in my life as a negative, where I didn't feel worthy to spend money, or maybe even worthy to make money. And so now that I'm nearly 40, and by the start of next year, or even 3 months into next year, possibly having 30k saved, when I literally, I remember, and I will share this, I will share it, like, whether someone makes it to the end of the video, who knows. But I remember one Christmas, went to my ex-wife's family place in Portland, not America, but Portland, and it was Christmas, and I really wanted to show that I cared, and really wanted to show that show my appreciation. Not that you need to show appreciation with gifts and stuff, but Christmas, like, I just thought to myself, no, like, I'd really like to do some nice things with my gift giving that year. So I spent money on an expensive watch and expensive earrings, and I remember then going there and had $700 to my name. It was nice to see a smile on her face with those things, but then it was like, I don't see how I'm going to get through next month. I don't see how I'm going to get through the next month. And so I contemplated, we had our dog Kira at the time, and I contemplated, we came in 2 cars, so I think she came up a bit earlier. I must have been working still or whatever. And, and I feel like sharing stuff is good for me to sort of process it in a way, but also might help other people that are in very similar scenarios where you can't even see past a week, and you might be in a really dark hole mentally. And like, I remember wanting to come home early, not come home early, but leave at different times, and her to take the dog so I could kill myself on the road. That was like a thought process that I had. So I'm like, I literally don't know how I'm gonna not be bankrupt soon, And so when I get to the stage, and I mentioned that as well, because when I get to a stage next year and I've got 30 grand to my name, and then that opens doors to my life that I've never had before, and not necessarily financially free, but stable, because that's really, not that I don't deserve financial freedom, but like, I'd be content with being financially stable for the rest of my life. And I mention this because anyone who's struggling financially, and that is maybe a factor where you can't see yourself getting out of a hole, and that is impacting your mental capacity to live, understand it can, I'm not going to say it will, it can get better, And it may not happen instantly either, because after that point, I nearly went bankrupt another 4 times, you know, another 3 or 4 times after that first moment, you know. And so yeah, like, it feels good to sit here knowing that I'm deserving of the money that I'm creating at the moment, and it's mainly based on that I don't have any expenditures, you know, other than food. I don't have any expenditures. Bit of an update as well for anyone who's made it this far to the video. I keep rambling and talking. Is so my mouth issue, when I was taking the cystatine or whatever it's called, I went back to the hospital because it started to get worse, and another doctor's like, I don't think it is that, I think you've just got white tongue, and it could be a deficiency in B vitamins. So he gave me some B6 vitamins to take, and I've been taking them, and they have been helping. My tongue doesn't feel as weird or gross anymore. My buccal flaps have settled down on both sides, and the little raised bits on the side, like the little raised bits around the side of my gums, they're sort of diminishing a little bit. And then the little bumps I had on the roof of my mouth, which is why I went back to the doctors, they haven't gotten any worse. So yeah, gave me enough for 2 weeks, just see what happens, and if I need to go back and get more of them. So yeah, might just leave it there, guys, and yeah, thank you for everyone who's supported my channel this whole time, or anyone new that comes along and sort of just watches my videos, and if they help in some way, fantastic. If you just like from entertainment purposes, that's great. So yeah, I guess I'll just leave it there.